Slick Rick is back with us, but Sel, is keeping the core group the right approach for the Lakers?
No, not if they want to win going forward. It's not. You just can't go into this offseason thinking staying put with your core group is going to be enough. You're going to have a 37-year-old LeBron James, year older, and hope that AD can stay healthy, and that's your campaign message? That's what you're going to sell to the fans? That's what you're going to sell to yourself? Come on. Oh, let's extend the core. Let's talk about this core. And Kuzma, who signed for 2 more seasons going forward, but Kyle Kuzma averaged 6 points a game in this series, shooting 17% from 3. Oh, that's bad, but, you know, people have off nights from the three-point line. How about 29% from the field? That's the core? A hope on AD's health, LeBron getting older and picking even more of his spots in terms of being selective when he plays full LeBron mode. And then you get Kyle Kuzma, who you can't count on. I'm sorry, man. When you look at the other teams that's going to be in your way, you just lost to one in the Phoenix Suns. But you look at the Western Conference, you look at the NBA as a whole, teams, when they get injured, whether we could talk about an Embiid, we could talk about a Harden, we could talk about a CP3, we could talk about Anthony Davis. You notice one thing about those other teams? When those guys get hurt, they still either win or advance. You guys are one play away, sounds like one player away, from all of this collapsing on you. So, no, there's no way this core group can get it done going forward by itself. It needs some additions.
Co-signed completely. First question got to be answered, though, is who is the core group? The only Lakers that I would want to return at the role in which they played, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Schroeder, and Alex Caruso. Only those 4 do I want in the role in which they played. I don't mind Schroeder coming back starting at point. Ain't got no issue with that at all. You don't need to be the 2nd or 3rd best player on the team, but I don't mind you coming back at point. Caruso, don't mind you being an 8th man off the bench. Incredible hustle player. LeBron James and AD, obviously, y'all know what that is. But Sal hit the nail on the head. The core group got to have some additions. I look at it like this, you all. Destiny's Child. Y'all remember they used to be 4 people, Kelly Rowland, Beyonce Knowles, LaToya Luckett, Latavia Robertson. That was a 4. They kept the core group together. They kept Beyonce and Kelly, but they made an addition in Michelle. See, I'm with you, Sal, as far as keep LeBron James, Beyonce, and keep Anthony Davis, Kelly. But y'all gotta go find you a 3rd member. I already said it could be Dame. I said it could be Bradley Beal, but you have to go find a 3rd member. I don't know who you want to call the core group. I can call the core group those 2 individuals, those two superstars, but you better go find you a 3rd like Destiny's Child did.
You guys are overreacting.
How?
Before LeBron James and Anthony Davis got hurt, this team was the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, and they had the #1 defense all year long. They were the 2nd seed in spite of the fact that their offense wasn't one of the best. It was in the bottom 20. So there is the question of health. But Kentavious Caldwell-Pope and Dennis Schroeder were on my all-defensive team. And Anthony Davis, we know what he can do defensively. This team was able to hang its hat on something special and utilize it. And so when I look at what they have, you're right, Acho, in saying, so what's the core? Well, I think we've identified the core. The problem with this team were the ancillary pieces, were the pieces that they changed out last summer. And then when the injuries hit, Montrezl Harrell and Marc Gasol and Wes Matthews couldn't carry the water. They couldn't do what they didn't actually, that Dwight Howard and the complementary pieces didn't have to do the year before because they didn't run into these injuries. But the fact of the matter is those guys were left wanting. So do they need to make some changes to this team if they want to make another run? Yes, without question. But do they need to change the core of this team? I believe, Acho, in a way, you were saying they don't, because you basically named the core and said you were good with it. They just need to make some changes. I'm just going to answer the question, which is, can they go forward with the core? And if that's the question, the answer is yes, they can go forward with this core.
But Slick, the question, then I'll ask you, who do you say the core is? Who is the Lakers' core?
I say the core is LeBron James.
Yep.
Anthony Davis,
of course.
Dennis Schroeder.
Cool.
I would keep Markieff Morris, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for sure.
Why?
What's that?
Why you gonna keep Morris? You didn't say Marcus Morris. You said Markeith, right? You said Markeith, right?
Fair. I will stay with Markeith, and I'll stay with Alex Caruso.
But here's the problem.
That's my core.
Here's the issue, Slick, and that's why I said I only want 4 in the role in which they played. You think KCP can start as a 2 on a championship team? Is that true? Like,
yes,
when
I
you
do.
look at the 2s in the West, when you look at what Dame is doing, when you look at what Book is doing, when you just look across what Murray's doing when he's healthy, what Spidey will do, when you look at some of the 2s or some of the hybrid 1-2s, the point shooting guards, and then you going to roll KCP out there when they rolling Booker out there? You going to roll KCP out there when they roll Murray out there? You going to roll KCP out there when they roll PG out there? I'm like, Slick, you bringing a spoon to a fight that has all types of grenades, rocket launchers, AKs, and you coming out here with a wooden spoon.
Okay, so
making no sound
how many
effects.
of those guys? how many of those guys have titles? Because I know KCP has a title, and I know he shot the hell out of it in the bubble, shot like 40% from 3.
Bubble.
And as I said, he was as good defensive. Look, he was hurt this year. He played injured this year. He wasn't the same KCP. So I can roll with him. The key here, and this is kind of the trick to this entire question, because it really hangs on LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And where I have a problem with what Rob Pelinka said is that he said, we ran into unforeseen circumstances. Look, we know Anthony Davis's history. We know LeBron James is 36 years old.
Hello.
The fact that those guys got hurt at this point after making a run to the finals last year and having a short off season, that's not unforeseen. That's practically predictable. But unless you're going to take the extreme move and say, we are blowing it all up. You know what, LeBron? Thank you for getting us a ring. Your time is done. We're going to start rebuilding this bad boy right now. We're going to get off Anthony Davis. We're going to move Kyle. We're going to change this whole thing. If you're not going to do that, your best option for making one more run at a title is to try to capture the magic that you had last year and hope that LeBron and AD can stay healthy. Because with a healthy LeBron and AD, KCP was more than serviceable as your 2 guard.
Man, it worked for Obama. Maybe it worked for you. Hope. You got him elected. You over here, hope. Hope ain't going to work in sports when these cats are bringing out young guns. As you said, you keep coming with that hope spoon. Pew, pew. These cats are putting out
buckets. Booker coming out here with AKs and
what else do I have?
And they young.
What do I have?
No, they can run as fast as the weapons they shooting. Like, these young dudes are going to run up and down the court on LeBron at 37 and AD with one leg. It's going to be a problem. You act like the tendinosis is getting better. I told you the tendinosis is going to lead itself to everything.
Not again, Dr. Wiley.
I'm not going to. Dr. Wiley
Yeah,
ain't here.
I know, no kidding.
I'll wear my gangster suit when I'm Dr. Wiley. I'm just
You're making tendinosis sound like the bubonic plague. Like, it's over.
Influenza,
It's over. He should just retire.
I mean, the greatness of AD with consistency and longevity may have retired right before your very eyes, but let me get to that. I got a little gumbo right here, so that means I got a lot of ingredients, a lot of layers. Let's talk about this. First, let me push back on you, Acho.
What I do?
Because you talking about, I ain't mad if you run Dennis Schroeder back out there point guard.
I'm not
you
mad
want to
at
know
that.
who is mad? Who I think I'm going to trust more than you? Magic Johnson. Oh, quote, Dennis Schroeder failed. He said he failed. Magic said that. Mr. PC Magic said he failed. Also said, I don't think he's a Laker. But you and Magic, since y'all see each other over brunch on random Sundays, y'all talk that through. Also, you said LeBron is still the queen bee? Beyonce? Not in this group. Sorry, LeBron, you are Kelly Rowland. Respect to both of them because they both in my fam. I see you at school. But LeBron ain't the queen of this show. In this show, Anthony Davis is the one that's going to lead them to anywhere. You know why? Because I bring up Slick's point. Slick, you're going to give me this old hopeful statement. Well, the Lakers were second in the West before blank got hurt. You know what's funny about that statement? I heard it before. And what's the definition of insanity? By doing the same old thing and expecting a different result. This year is before AD got hurt. Look at the Lakers. Then last year they win the bubble. They win the bubble championship. What about in 2019? What did we hear? Here goes Slick. Well, before LeBron got hurt, they were 4th in the West. Hey, bruh, LeBron is getting old. AD can't stay healthy. The problem with this is the only thing that survived and saved them last year, they had 5 months off for a break. So LeBron didn't have to show his age. AD didn't have to show his injury history. Outside of that, you got a non-playoff team. You got you a team that was one and done in the playoffs. And you got you a bubble championship. Do I got a full screen right here to end this? Because I think I'm just going to stamp this. Let's look at this full screen right here. For y'all who are not trying to put together exactly the results of these teams with the names, let me do it for you. You're looking at teams that can't shoot from the three-point line. Why does that matter? Because it's a three-point game right now. So I'll see 4 one-and-done teams and one team that can't even beat a team without their point guard in James Harden in game 1. Point being, the Lakers just have too many issues to roll it out the same way. But hey, nothing wrong with being insane if you expect a different result.